Welcome back to EarthChangers. I'm Amy Hyder, your host. And just before the break, I teased something. I know that they have a big announcement coming up at the Children's Museum of the Upstate. We've been speaking with Nancy Halverson. Nancy, tell us what's happening at your place in the next few days.
Oh, my goodness. We are so excited. So on January 2nd, we will be opening a new restaurant that will be the first in the nation farm-to-table restaurant for kids.
Specifically
for kids. And we are doing it with my dear friend, Jonathan Willis, who's here with us today. Jonathan is the owner of a great new restaurant in town, another restaurant called Farm Fresh Fast.
Yes.
So we're just delighted.
Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning.
And you're a busy man.
I am.
Because he only got here just before we started talking. He's running around like a crazy person because he's got a new restaurant opening on January 2nd. And he's actually live streaming this right now as we recorded a little bit earlier in the week. Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear us. If you can't hear us, I'm not sure what to do for you.
Yeah, sorry.
Maybe we bring it up on the chair or something like that. But so this is interesting, live streaming at the same time we're recording. But Jonathan, you're the owner of Farm Fresh Fast. It's a farm-to-table restaurant.
Correct.
And how did you get involved with the Children's Museum of the Upstate?
Nancy and I actually had conversations before we opened Farm Fresh Fast of kind of really kind of brainstorming, seeing what we wanted to do. We felt that Farm Fresh Fast kind of needed to be its own entity out, and we really kind of built that customer base and that culture. And now literally it's just been a plug and play. Nancy came to me like, I say a month in, a month into Farm Fresh Fast, and literally when she walked in, just her eyes lit up.
Yes,
and she did the famous Nancy, just and
we have to do this.
Yeah, and so she was like, "Oh my gosh, Jonathan, we need this at the museum." And I was like, "Nancy, there's no way I could do this. There's just no way." I was covered up as it was, and
and you were getting married in about...
It's getting married. We're buying a house. We did all this in like the same year. So, and it's been wonderful. And so I said, Nancy, we really can't do this now. And then a couple of months ago, it just kind of came to me, and I called her up randomly. I was leaving the restaurant. I remember the phone conversation, and I called her and said, "Hey, Nancy, remember what we talked about? I'm ready. I think I'm ready." And she was like,
"We've been ready."
Yeah. And so it just went from there. I mean, I think it's a beautiful marriage of what the Children's Museum the reputation they already have, and the culture that we're creating and bringing in, because it's really not just about food. This is so much more than food. This is just all about the interaction with children and our farmers and their interaction with the children and education.
Yeah, getting kids raised on good, healthy, fresh food.
Right.
Yes.
So,
and one of the things that I really got excited about was Jonathan's passion for the programming part of it. It isn't just come in and buy a chicken hot dog. It is so much more than that. His relationships that he has built now over a year and a half with these farmers, and what he has already given back to the community just speaks volumes to the kids about what it means to be really a community leader, which Jonathan is. So I would love for him to just take a minute and share about some of his farmers, because I know that is such a passion, and they will be in the museum regularly. Already we have a hydroponic garden going in the museum that his farmers have brought in. We'll be growing live sprouts there. I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff. We'll be incubating chickens, all because of the relationships he has with these farmers.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And I think that's the main thing that I've been trying to tell people, is that it's going to be delicious food. It's literally, we're taking the same values of Farm Fresh Fast and we're making it, to a kid level, but we're so much more than food. Farm Fresh Fast is so much more than food. So Seedlings, I want to be so much more than even Farm Fresh Fast when it comes to interaction. And so the kids, I personally believe, and my wife believes, that kids are products in their environment.
Right.
And so if we can start that early, we can instill those values early, not necessarily about being a farmer, but being interested in where their food comes from.
Right.
Because I made a post last night on social media that said that, people, even if they don't think they want to know, they really should want to know where their food comes from, because in all actuality, when you go to a restaurant or a grocery store, you're putting your faith into people that don't always have your best interest at heart. You know, when it comes to quality of animals, of produce, living conditions, growing conditions, all that kind of stuff. So, and money's a big influencer on that. So that's why we are so connected with our farmers. I was talking to Steve from Cedar Creek Mountain Nursery yesterday that we literally laid out why he chose to talk to me, why he came to me and brought me a seed catalog and said, "What do you want me to grow for you?" Wow. Right. And why I was already working with other people, but why I said, this is my guy. And that was the reason, though, because he didn't say, here's what I got.
Choose from this.
Yeah, right. Yeah. He literally said, what do you want? What can I grow for you? And so we sat down with the seed catalog. We went through and we picked what we thought would be the best blends. And that's what we currently use. And that's what we're going to use at Seedlings. And he's actually the one that's doing the growing the lettuces hydroponically at Seedlings. Yeah. So and these farmers want that interaction with people.
Right. This is, it's funny that it's so mind-blowing to have a farm-to-table restaurant for children, but it makes so much sense.
Yes, it really does. And the food, it truly is delicious. We had kind of a sneak peek meal the other night for friends and family in the museum. These kids, they ate out the place.
Yeah, we had people take stuff home. It was great. It was super awesome.
But, so many times you get kids who are picky eaters, and part of it is because they don't see where the food comes from or what it's, they always say, if you can get a child involved with the making of their own food, yes, you can open up the world to them, get them so much more into, like they'll eat lettuce they've grown themselves. Absolutely. They will try, they will try things. So if you could see this.
Yeah. And the way that we've designed the space together, I think also adds to that, because kids feel like they're in that environment of a farm. Right. There's a mini pickup truck that they can play in. There's chickens on the wall. It really is kid friendly and fun.
When I thought about the space, it's like Farm Fresh Fast. Like when you have an idea, you know how it is. You have an idea and you can see it in your head, and so but other people can't see it. And so like what I wanted to look like on just the bones. I always just see the bones. I never see like the paint and all that kind of stuff. I'm not that guy, but I see the countertops. I see this kind of stuff. Right. But when you see what the museum, what TCMU did for the space, it is mind-blowing. Like, whenever you really see how much these people care and come together, like, thank you. It's not because Nancy's sitting here. Like, I praise them from the highest every time that anybody ever asks me about it, because like whenever you see them work together as a unit, I've never seen a problem that's been brought up that's not resolved. There's no problem finding, it's problem solving. And it's not one person, it's the whole team. And so like the day that we had our soft opening, there was like 12 people in there working on this space. Nobody had really any stake in it other than just being at the museum, but everybody had a hand in it. They're screwing in light bulbs and their string lights, and they're hanging plants from the ceiling and stuff, and it was beautiful. Like I think why I value our farmers so much, because I truly value hard work and see beauty in hard work. Right. Because it's something that's just lost. It's a lost art in our world now, especially in my generation. And so, I respect hardworking people. And then when I look around and there's a whole team of hardworking people, it's amazing. Like, it is amazing. It is very refreshing as well.
Yeah. And so if you want to experience this, if you want to experience Seedlings, it opens January 2nd, day after New Year's.
Yes.
But it is exclusively, for right now, people who come in through the Children's Museum. If you want to experience the Farm Fresh fast food, you can do that already. On Church Street in Greenville. But as far as Seedlings goes, that is going to be specifically in the museum. So there's a good excuse to bring your kids before they go back to school.
That's right.
Come out and try the new menu. That sounds amazing.
Not just for kids, though. We have the menu broken down into 3 categories. You have your little kids, which are our seeds. We have our shoots, which are the like middle-aged kids. I'm not really sure how to say it. And then you have your roots, which are your parents. Okay. And so we have all stuff for everybody.
That sounds fantastic. I can't wait to try it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you for joining us today. Jonathan Willis, the owner of Seedlings and Farm Fresh Fast. The blanket company is Farm Fresh Forever, I love that idea. And we've also been speaking with Nancy Halverson, the executive director of the Children's Museum of the Upstate. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
For more information on any of this, you can go to www.tcmupstate.org. And that's going to do it for EarthChangers for this week. Thank you for joining us. Have a magnificent new year. Now get out there, be an EarthChanger, and have a great week.
If you have an event or topic of interest for EarthChangers, contact Amy Hyder. Amy at earthfmwrth.com.